Hey, hey everyone. It is your girl, the one and the only Spicy, and I'm here today with another Money Talks episode. I'm here today with another Money Talks episode, and just the FYI, this will actually be my last Money Talks episode that I post on this platform. Everything else will be going straight to YouTube. It will be going straight to YouTube. So please check this out because it will not be posted on this platform. It will be going straight to YouTube. So if you missed the live, it's okay. Just go to my YouTube page. Go to my YouTube. It's in my link tree. It's there. I got all the links outlined perfectly so you know which one you're clicking into. And I'm so excited for y'all. People that are new, welcome. If you are not new and if you've been around for a while, welcome too. Welcome. I love when people support me because it's just like, oh, I'm getting support now. Y'all, really. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. But yeah, this is your girl, the one and only Spicy. And for today's Money Talks, we're going to get right into it. For today, I want to talk about self-love, being egotistical, and then humility and being insecure. Because I often feel like society, I feel like the internet, but you already know how this is. We have freedom of speech and it just is what it is. It benefits us and then it hurts us. But something I've definitely seen is how oftentimes people link having self-love with being egotistical. They think that's synonymous, but it's not. And then just also how people link being humble with being insecure. And it might just be because people use these terms interchangeably or they don't actually really know the meanings of these things. But this is just something that I've personally experienced just within my own waking life, especially when I decided to do things, to start to actually put myself first and to do things for myself. These are definitely things that I've experienced. This is something I've experienced. So I just wanted to share this video with y'all, share my thoughts with y'all, share my stream of consciousness with y'all, to see if it would also help y'all as well. You know, when it comes to money talks, anything that we talk about at the end of the day is only going to increase your earning potential, give you the confidence to really step out here in the world and to do what you got to do to make these coins, to feed your family, to feed yourself, to create a legacy, to break generational curses, and just for generational wealth. Shit. So, all right. So something that I definitely realized when I started living for myself was that people started to call me egotistical, or they would say that, oh, I'm being prideful, or no, you need to humble yourself. And it's like, I always used to think to myself, like, what are you even talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, do y'all have the moments where it's like you finally living for yourself, you finally doing something positive for yourself, you're finally exercising self-love, like with whatever that means, whether it's creating boundaries, whether it's staying away from toxic people, creating boundaries, whether it's just choosing to date people with more value, choosing to hang out with friends that give you more value as opposed to friends that don't. Or even just taking your business seriously. Like, that could be self-love to someone. Taking their business seriously and actually focusing on their earning potential, actually focusing on their stability and focusing on their money and finances. I know that's the type of self-love that I'm putting into myself. And the crazy thing about it is, like, when you actually start to focus on your goals and dreams, it's like everything comes together. You know what I'm trying to say? Everything literally will come together when you focus on yourself. When you focus on your dreams, your aspirations, and your goals, everything literally will wrap around and come together. And I'm so fortunate that I'm in this opportunity that I'm in right now, which is actually giving me the ability to actually focus on my earning potential, actually be able to focus on myself, focus on my financial stability, and to literally go after my dreams and aspirations and goals. Like, that's the crazy thing that I learned is, like, you're not going to find happiness through another person. You're not going to find happiness through a relationship. You're not going to find happiness through all of these existential things. The only thing that is going to really bring you, happiness is you being able to actually focus on your goals, focus on what it is that you need. And that could be different things for everyone. We all have different dreams, goals, and aspirations. So what is it that you individually feel like your soul needs? Like for me, for example, my soul needs to be in a peaceful home. My soul needs to be around a luxurious living. My soul needs for me to be in the best environments. I need to have the best views. I need to be driving in the best car. I need to be driving in the best. Okay. And the reason why I say the best is because I deserve the best. Now, it took me a long time to realize that I deserve the best. That's okay. Self-love teaches you that you deserve the best, and you cannot settle for nothing less than that. So that's where the egotistical part comes in. Because people will say that you're being egotistical because you want better for yourself. And if you've encountered that and you know that you're living your life righteously, you know that you're just literally doing what your soul needs. Like, you know that the type of love that you're exhibiting for yourself is greater than any other love that anyone else can give you. Now you're unconditionally loving yourself. Like, that's the ultimate form of self-love. And that's something that people, they don't want. Those are things that people don't like. They can't stand to see when someone is actually loving themselves and putting themselves first. They think that it's something against them or something to make them feel insecure, but it's not. It should really just be a lesson to teach them, like, wow, if this person is investing all of this time into their self, and they're getting these results and they're actually doing all these great things, and I can see these things paying off for this person, then maybe I should do the same thing for myself as well. But unfortunately, that's not how the majority of society tends to think. Besides that, they would rather just compare themselves to other people, hate or downplay other people's success, which are narcissistic tendencies that we know if we want to be successful, those are things that we have to give up. We got to throw those those tendencies to the wayside, because it's not going to really actually push you forward into becoming more successful. It's just going to hold you back. So with that being said, something I definitely noticed was that the more that I started loving myself, the more that I started putting more time and attention, not only into just the things around me, like materialistic things, but also just into myself in general. I stopped going around certain people. I stopped listening to certain people. I stopped taking other people's advice and just what they said is, okay, let me just do that thing. Like, I really started to observe people and actually started to create boundaries and actually started to look at myself as a blessing. I looked at myself as a blessing. I started to understand the anointing that God actually has over my life and understand that if I've been able to do such monumental, great things for other people, then why not do great and monumental things for myself? Why not put that same energy and effort that I'm putting into other people and into their lives? Why don't I just bring that back and create wraparound services for myself? You feel me? So I just want to say that, caution you, if you start doing that, if you start living for yourself, don't be surprised that other people start to look at you like you're being egotistical. Don't be surprised as other people start to call you big-headed and feel like they need to bring you back down to earth. Let me tell you something. It's nobody else's job. It's nobody else's job in this world to bring you back to earth. That's not their job, okay? If you need a humbling experience, I know somebody. Matter of fact, I know an entity that will literally give you that experience that you need. If you need to be brought back down to earth, there's an entity that will give you that experience through life. Will give you those life lessons that will literally teach you so that you can be able to walk forward with a little more humility under your belt. You feel what I'm trying to say? So it's not really anybody's job. And this is something I really want to tell y'all, is because a lot of people will confuse self-love with now you're being egotistical and now you're having a big head. And people will literally try to do things to you to bring you back down to earth. They will say things to you like if you have a business, if you're doing well, if you're feeling great about yourself. It doesn't matter. Whatever goal it is that you're doing and they actively know that you're working towards this goal, they're going to say something and do something to try to knock you off off of, of that little pedestal you was creating for yourself, because you was actually killing the game by loving yourself. They're going to try to knock you down. But the great thing about self-love is so assured. Like, self-love is so assured. Like, when you started loving yourself, that thing is so assured. That's nothing that anyone could take away from you. And that's the thing that people don't understand is you can try to make me feel like I'm being big-headed. You could try to make me feel like I'm being egotistical, but nothing that you say will affect the self-love that I have for myself. And that's just how assured self-love is. Now, when someone's living through their ego, any little thing that you say is going to affect them. Any little thing that you say is going to knock them down, because they're living off of a false sense of who they actually really are. But when you love yourself and you know who you are, it's nothing that nobody can tell you. At the end of the day, you're going to love yourself. So if you're facing this and you know that all you're really doing at the end of the day is loving yourself, but then you have people in your ear that don't want to support you, or you have people that know what you're doing but still want to knock you down, still want to drill holes in the boat, and you trying to paddle, and they still drilling holes in the boat. Like, I mean, that person only got one option at the end of the day. They gonna get going. They gonna get going. So just allow them to naturally weed themselves out. But at the end of the day, don't listen to what it is that they're saying, because you know from the bottom of your heart that you're actually loving yourself, and it's not synonymous with you being egotistical. Because love and self-love, unconditional self-love, that thing is not synonymous with being egotistical at all. Like, we do have our ego for a reason, and I go more into depth about that in my narcissism podcast, The Healing After Narcissistic Abuse, that is on YouTube, and you can learn more about the ego on there. But for the most part, it's not synonymous. So just don't even let anybody knock you down, especially if you know that you're loving yourself, especially if you know that you're taking certain journeys. For example, the journey I'm taking now is to increase my finances and my financial stability and generational wealth. That's the journey that I decided to take. That's the call that I decided to answer. So regardless of whatever journey that you're taking, whether it's a weight loss journey or it's a hair growth journey, there's so many different journeys that we can actually take out here in this world. If you're doing it from a place of love and you just love yourself and you want to see yourself get into a better place, understand that people will mistake it for you being egotistical, but at the end of the day, just let it roll off your shoulder, because it just doesn't matter. You know who you are. Now, on the flip side, I just want to talk about humility and being insecure. So for some reason, society has equated that if you're a humble person, or you say you're a humble person, then that means that you're an insecure person. And I really just want people to understand that humility is just not synonymous with having a low self-esteem or being insecure. It's not about making yourself smaller. You know what I'm trying to say? So that other people can outshine you, or you can't live into your full potential of who you actually are. And this is the thing too, is like, when you're humbly loving yourself, people still gonna find a problem with it. People are still going to find a problem with it. Okay? When you're humbly loving yourself, they still are going to find a problem with it. They still are going to call you egotistical. And the reason why, and when I say that they want to knock you back down, is they just want to make you small. They want you to see yourself as a smaller version. They want you to see yourself as your old self. But once you've already expanded, once you've already grown out of your old self, once you already, went through the transformation and shedded those layers, the skin of who you used to be, there really is no going back. You can't, it's just like, it reminds me of like the shark in the fish tank. It's just like, you can only grow as much as you can in a fish tank, but put that same shark out in the ocean, and now you're like, what, minimum 6 feet long? I don't know how long sharks are, but they big as fuck. I can tell you that. So with that being said, I just want to let you know that, like, humbly loving yourself has nothing to do with insecurity. And that's the thing that people want you to do. People want you to be insecure. People don't want you to grow into your full potential, because that's the thing, is that others can see your full potential. Others can see how successful you are, and you may not even think you that successful. You might just be like, I'm over here chilling, doing my thing. I'm over here in the dark. I'm a star seed. I'm being developed in the dark. But nah, like, that work that you're doing in the dark could be very monumental. It could be a very big thing. So I really just want y'all to understand that, like, people are really going to try to box you in and make you your old self. And it's so important for you to humbly love yourself and just be like, excuse me, that's not for me. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm bigger than what you think I am. Like, I actually am a force. You know, you could say force to be reckoned with. It's up to you. It's up to you. But at the end of the day, like, I just had to talk about this because I see that people are equating low self-esteem or just being insecure with humble, and that's two different things. Okay, like, when you're humble, you're meek. You know you the shit, but you don't have to put it out there to the world that you the shit. You know the world gonna see it for themselves. And that's the thing, is like, just in the Bible it says the meek shall inherit the earth. That's saying that, like, the people that actually they know their blessings, they know they're blessed, they know they have an anointing, but they're going about this thing in a way that does not harm other people. They going about this thing in a way that benefits other people. These are the people that are going to inherit the earth, because they know they're the movers and shakers, but they're not throwing it in people's faces, being egotistical about stuff, or they're not intentionally trying to get over or trying to manipulate people. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's a difference. And I really think that society really be getting it fucked up sometimes. Like, they think that oh, if you have self-love and you humble, that you're being egotistical, and then you also being insecure. And it's just like, how does that even equate or make any sense? So I just really had to get on here and talk about that, because I feel like anything that I talk about, even within this Money Talk series, it doesn't necessarily have to just be about the actual physical, like, this money. And let's talk about, you know how, like, finance majors be like, oh, let's talk about money, and they got all this fancy jargon and stuff like that. Like, when it comes to Money Talks, I'm just helping you get your mindset right, like, helping you to be able to understand that you have earned the potential out here in this world, and it's time for you to wake up and go get it, and stop being affected by these things that are going on around you, or the stuff that people have to say, or even the things that are going on within your mind as well. Especially if you grew up in a toxic, crazy ass household like I did. A lot of the times you really do have to lie to yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? You have to lie to yourself to be able to get into a better position. You have to do things that you're not comfortable with doing, things that you have not done before. So yeah, y'all, I definitely hope that you enjoyed today's Money Talks. Please understand that self-love is the best love. It is assured love. Like, at the end of the day, if you don't have anything else out here in this world, but you have love for yourself, like, your life still gonna be moving. Shit still gonna be getting done. Okay, I'm a testament of that. That even if you don't have anyone else around, even if you only have one friend, if your mama around, if your mama's not around, your daddy's not around, your family's not around, you can still make stuff happen as long as you have love for yourself. So that's all that I have to say today. I hope everyone enjoyed this Money Talks. It's truly amazing. I'm so glad I had the chance to actually get on here and say what I had to say, because I had this message building up, and I was just like, at some point in time, I really do have to just get out here and say what I need to say. You know, when you have the messages on your mind and spirit be like, you need to talk about this, talk about this, talk about this. And so you write it down so you don't forget it. But then it'd be like, nah, but I still got to talk. Yeah. That's basically where I'm at with it today. So I hope everyone has a very blessed evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope the best for you. Shit, I don't know what else to say. I wish the best for you. I know that things are gonna, move forward in your favor. So let's just get to it. See y'all and have a nice evening.